this is the 700th anniversary, as you know, of the head temple. And the purpose of this gongyo, which is the chanting conducted by the priests every night, is simply and solely for the progress of the movement for Kosen Rufu and towards world peace. So why Ushi Torah? Ushi Torah are two time periods in the old way of expressing time in Japan. So Ushi is from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. These time periods were 2-hour time periods. And Torah was 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So Ushi, I forgot, Ushi is bull. And Ushi is a bull. And Torah is a tiger. All right, that's the name they named those hours. So why this time was chosen rather than doing it, say, in the ordinary daytime? This is because in one of the kosha, which had not yet been translated into English, Nichiren Daishonin explains that during the hours of Ushi and Torah, the particular part of the world, wherever you may be, is at its state of most perfect balance. That is to say, that corner of the universe at that particular time is in a state where it's most sensitive to negative, positive influences. Therefore, the priests of Taisekaji during those hours have played, chanted strongly for peace and happiness for the people of the world. In other words, that influence is most effective at that time. So I don't know whether any of you have ever experienced that if you have a particularly great problem that you wish to solve with your whole being, you can sometimes find yourself waking up at, strangely, perhaps 2:30 or 3:45, not long after you've gone to sleep. Mm-hmm. Equally, strangely, you may feel an impulse to go and chant to the gongs. It's happened twice in my time practice before great problems had to be solved. So this was really the mercy of Nam-myoho Renge-kyo at work in oneself. In other words, by getting up and chanting then, your daimoku is having particularly profound effect. So the most, in this same kosha, the most, within that 4-hour time bracket, the most crucial period is from 5 to 3 to 20 past 3 in the morning. That is at most perfect balance at that time. And therefore the time when your daimoku is most perfectly having an influence on the world and this is a whole. Is that clear, everybody? Yes. Right. Now that doesn't mean, please, that if you've got a problem, you've got to go getting up every night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I believe that if that problem needs that sort of influence in order to solve, you will feel that in your life in any way. And that's why you'll find yourself waking up. So Ushi Torah, please understand, is a ceremony for the priests. And the priest's day is worked around that ceremony. So I understand high priest starts his day every day round about. I guess he must go to bed rather earlier than we do. All right. So then the other great event which you'll be attending, as you may know, is what is called the Oeshiki ceremony. Oeshiki. Oeshiki means literally the meeting ceremony Probably that's the best way of putting it in a literal sense. What this conveys is that every year, once a year, the spirit of Nichiren Daishonin is revived in the head temple. Of course, it's always been revived every day of the year. But this day particularly, the priesthood will revive their determination to live Nichiren Daishonin spirit for the rest of the coming year for the next ceremony. Vaishiki always takes place in November sometime. So it's called the meeting ceremony because they, as it were, react the arrival of the high priest at Taiseikichi in the form of a small procession, which is done by torchlight from the priest's quarters up the path towards the Miedo temple. And the walk is lined with braziers burning, and we're allowed to stand at some point on that route. And then at the Miedo temple, there are young priests who are waiting outside the Miedo temple for Nichiren Daishonin to arrive. They hear the noise of his procession approaching. And also there is a gong sound. In turn, the young priest will run at a fantastic pace, dressed as they are in their robes and their sort of sandal-type shoes, carrying a lantern to seek the guidance of Nichiren Daishonin. This is the idea behind it. Meanwhile, the remainder of the priests are assembled in the Miedo temple, waiting for Nichiren Daishonin to arrive. Each to them. So the young people, in a way, it shows the spirit of youth. Young people wanting to get in and get there first and hear Nichiren Daishonin give guidance to them. They can't even wait for the ceremony of the Miedo to begin. This is the sort of spirit of this. So they look wonderfully fresh, the priests, and eager as they run to meet the high priest who is representing Nichiren Daishonin in that ceremony. And they run 3 times, ask him to stop and give guidance. Each time he moves on towards his ultimate lecture in the Miedo temple. But of course, praising the young priests, seeking guidance. So through being at the head temple at this time, you can also feel that refreshing spirit of our own minds that we'll try to refresh our lives every year in the same way. Okay. Is that sort of clear? I think those are the main events. Otherwise, of course, you're free when these events are not on to walk around the head temple. And it's good to find someone who's been there before, I think. For those of you who are coming for the first time, to go with someone, one of the members has been there before, so you don't waste a lot of time running around trying to find the place you're looking for. Unfortunately, Prue's just been reminding me there is still no history of the head temple in English. It would be so nice if we could buy a book. We have asked several times in the past. So far, it's never been forthcoming. I know the head temple are always cautious about issuing publications for general distribution. And perhaps it's also felt that it's good for us to ask questions and find out for ourselves. But nevertheless, I'm going to try once again, reminded by Prue, to see if we can't get an English translation. There is a Japanese, Let's just told me there is a Japanese history. So we'll try and get permission for that translated. It will take then at least probably 6 or 8 months to get the head temple's approval. So it would be probably at least a year before you see the book. But nevertheless, we'll have another go this time. Is that all right, everyone? Anyone want to ask any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. There are onsen in all the accommodation blocks. And they're new buildings. They're very beautiful new buildings now, where you'll stay the night. It's improvement on the old ferro-concrete buildings that were built in the 1950s. So you're really fortunate. And of course, we're all fortunate to be going to the head temple in this 700th year. Yes. I think it's fantastic. All right, everyone. Thanks very much. Yes.